The Morehead Biltmore Hotel sign. Down at the end of Parkway Drive, we see the Biltmore. Some of the homes in Mansfield Park facing Parkway Drive. There again is the Biltmore. Here we have a tug traversing the Intercoastal Waterway, pushing two barges. The Biltmore, built initially as the Villa Hotel back during the heydays before the Depression. Here's in Pelletier Creek, the area now that is 70 West Marina. Trawler under construction. A.C. Cannon's Boat Works. There's his tug going out to move a boat from one location to another within the yard. As you go down facing the boat yard and the marina, you'll see a lot of original wooden hulled boats, no fiberglass there. Here is the Blue Ribbon Club, First Supper Club. It's now on the site of the culinary school. Here is the Centennial sign advertising Morehead's 100 years. The city limits, right at the front of the campus of the Carter Community College. Here we have Camp Glen School. Fire Station number 2, which is still in use. One of the more modern fire trucks at that time. Controls for the truck. In a moment we will see there it is, the plaque indicating the governor was George W. Dill. D.J. Hall Jr. was the fire commissioner. Here is the Morehead Motor Inn. It has now been raised to 2 stories, but it is still there, right next to the fire station. The fire station was built to match the architecture of the hotel. Here we are, this is about 24th Street on Evans, looking to the east. Houses in Montague subdivision, facing Bogue Sound on the other side, a loop off of Evans Street. Amateur radio operator antenna. I believe that is the McNeil House. And the TV antenna that afford the cable. Here is the Atlantic Beach Bridge in the open position, boats going through. That was located at 24th Street. Here is a state-owned marine fisheries patrol boat and a Coast Guard buoy tender, probably the Verbena or the Barberry. They were the ones that were here most often. Looking back at Morehead from 24th Street on the bridge. Up into the area once known as Bogue Park. Here's where a lot of the waterfront property came from. Alfred Cooper was dredging channels through the marsh, building up the marsh, and now there's many houses built on that. That was before Camo days when you couldn't dredge the marsh. That's the spoils coming from the dredge material. Conch shells that have gone through the dredge and been pumped offshore. A lot of oyster shells. And one of the canals from which that sand came. Here's Hammond Plaza, which was initially the Carteret Craven Electric Cooperative building. One of the churches, this one is on about 23rd Street and Bridges, I believe it is. Looks much the same. It has been sided and put on. Here's houses down in what initially was the Bogue Park area at about 22nd Street. There's Evans out there. The Episcopal Church. That's on Arundel Street. And if you go by, the main building is still there, but there has been a lot of improvements and additions. Glad Tidings at the time was on Bridges Street at 19th. It's still a church, but Glad Tidings is out on Country Club Road. Here is St. Egbert's Catholic Church. And across the street is St. Egbert's Catholic School. And the Presbyterian Church facing Arundel Street between 16th and 17th Streets. Likewise, a lot of additions. Here's the old W.S. King High School, which is now the Morehead City Recreational Department. And that land you're looking at there is the landfill. Here is the Morehead City Garment Company, otherwise known as the Shirt Factory. Piggly Wiggly, the building now is a 98-cent store. Here's the A&P store, which is now office buildings. The Franklin Memorial Methodist Church, the northernmost part of Promised Land on 12th and Arundel. Here was Colonial Store, which is now the History Place. Looking east on Arundel Street at the initial downtown business area. The Morehead City School from 1st through 12th, and even a business course there at one time. Cheeks Hardware, Wade's Theater, Fort Macon Hotel, Freeman Brothers Grocery Store. Across the street is the building. Here we go, look the other way. Those buildings have been torn down and replaced by parking lots or other buildings. Right straight ahead now is what is the bank building. Here is the original Morehead City Hospital, with an addition built just after or during the latter part of World War II. Morehead City waterfront. The white building in the background is the Sanitary Fish Market Restaurant. Now we have Fry Roofing Company and Trumbull Asphalt at the Morehead City Port. Here's a good catch, and watch this ceremonial delivery. Bob Simpson, who made many of the photographs you see in the background, as well as many of the other photographs of Morehead City in its earlier days, with his brother Bill. Boats getting ready for a sailboat race out in between Morehead City waterfront and Sugarloaf Island. Coast Guard 30-footer, plywood design, which came before, and they had initially went to fiberglass after steel. Morehead City Shipbuilding, on the site of the former Bell Wallace Shipyard. They were building what was known as the Hatteras trawlers. Here's one under construction. There was an assembly line. Here's one now being launched. They tried to schedule this on a Saturday so it would not upset the regular workforce. Just a skeleton crew would launch them and move them around to the outfitting pier. And the tide is high, otherwise it'd probably be aground. That's the site now of the present Army Reserve Unit. Blair Farm in the background across the creek. Here's the next one in line. Here's one that's having the planking put on. It's already been sealed on the inside. And here's 3 that are waiting for completion. There are various stages of installing the gear and the rigging. Captain Jim Mitchell, who was the superintendent of the yard. After the yard closed, he was a teacher at West Carteret High School. Here's the Morehead City Yacht Basin. Many renovations have taken place since this photo was taken. J.M. Davis Industries in the background and Parker Ford in the foreground. Sanitary Fish Market Restaurant. The smokestacks and the water tanks are down at the port terminal. Charter boats, there's the South Wind, Lee Royal Gould's boat, the Matty G. That, I believe, is a Dolphin. I couldn't be sure. Water skiing between the waterfront and Sugarloaf Island. Captain Bill's Restaurant. Odyssey's Fish Market and Fishing Fleet. Somebody's day's catch. Odyssey's Fish Market in the background with the Sea Raven and the Dolphin in the foreground. Here's a fire drill that goes right. Hot time in the old town tonight. Building in the background is the present municipal building, City Hall. One in the left with the columns is Leroy Guthrie's taxi stand. Cavalry to the rescue. A horseless carriage, Webb's clothing store, the reviewing stand in front of the Charles S. Wallace home, which is now the site of Wachovia Bank. Blanchard's Electric, next to the Morehead City Drug Store where the Rexall sign was. There's the Western Union, the little building that you almost didn't see. And beginning of the Centennial Parade. the color guard. Here comes one of the several bands that were in that. This, I believe, is one of the Marine Corps bands. North Carolina National Guard. Henry Jones's wagon. He used that to bring produce to town as well as haul packed partials around for people. Dray service. Western Union in the background, the little building with the flag over it. The house was Dr. Norris's parents. Churches of Morehead City. Everybody went together and put one float together. Town of Morehead City float. And one of the horseless carriages. Little fancier vehicle. Camping on a small scale. Another marching band, this one from Winya High School in South Carolina. Came up to join the parade. Boats probably built by Barber Boat Works in Newbern, which is now has been taken over by the Tyrone Palace. Here we have another band. One of Morehead's original gasoline-powered fire trucks. The first one after they got rid of the horse. And the motor grader, bought with proceeds from the dog track, because many of the streets in Morehead were still unpaved 50 years ago. Cub Scout troop, pack. They did have jets in those days. And another band. Lloyd A. Fry Roofing Company truck pulling one of the floats. And if you look close, got a quick eye, you can see some intricate maneuvers here. Brownie Scouts. Coast Guard float. And here is a replica of the Diamond Lightship on this float. There are no more lightships in this country, except as museum pieces. Notice civil defense. That was the term before Homeland Security. Liberty Bonds. Mayola Milk and Ice Cream Company float. And a truck. Think they'd have a hard job getting that bottle of milk in the truck though. Lions Club. Now we have the Shriners. You'll notice on the side of this engine the numbers 40 and 8. That is being a replica of the World War I French trains. Each car would carry 40 men or 8 horses. And what would a parade be without pretty girls? A seahorse pulling a wagon. At the end of the parade, it's breaking up, people are taking off. And to apologize for the quality of the film, you have to remember this was taken 50 years ago.